The Realme Pad has been the best tablet under 20,000 rupees. Chances are you watched the video, and now this is here, the Realme Pad Mini, which is priced even lower at just 11K. So is this a good 8-inch tablet? Stay tuned to find out, and also I'll be doing a comparison with the Samsung Galaxy Tab A7 Lite and the Moto Tab G20, so don't miss that. So here's the Realme Pad Mini, and it looks like a smaller version of the Realme Pad, which is not a bad thing. There's the same aluminium finish with the Realme logo at the bottom, although these lines, which are probably antenna bands, are horizontal on the top and the bottom. As for the weight and size, this is pretty sleek at 7.6mm thickness and is 372 grams in weight. Now, one of the big differences between this and the bigger Realme Pad is obviously the size. Here are both the tablets, and you can see that the Mini is much smaller. In fact, holding the Realme Pad Mini in the hands feels like holding a slightly bigger phone. I mean, this size is just much more easy to use. As for the functionality, there's the power button and the volume buttons on the side. The headphone jack is here, and there's a dual SIM plus micro SD hybrid slot. Yeah, this is the LTE variant, and there is a phone app here, so you can make calls on it. And if the screen is an 8.7-inch IPS LCD with the WUXGA resolution, which is close to HD, and to be honest, the display is an area where it does feel like a low-end tablet. See, I would have liked the same high resolution as the Realme Pad screen, but this is a low-priced device, so Realme had to cut corners in the display. Now, this display has its positives. For example, the bezels are not too big, the colors look decent, and there's an option in display settings called Video Display Enhancement, which works in apps like YouTube, and this does make the display a bit more vivid when playing videos, which is good. The tablet also has the Widevine L1 license, and movies and shows and apps like Netflix run at HD, so no problems here. Apart from this, the blacks are good too as far as LCD panels go, and I noticed that even though this is not the brightest display, it's still brighter than the bigger Realme Pad, as you can see from this comparison. And as for the negatives of the display, the viewing angles are kind of average, and the low resolution is also noticeable sometimes. If you ask me, these aren't exactly deal breakers at this price point. Now, the display does not have stylus support, and there's no keyboard case, just like the bigger Realme Pad. When it comes to speakers, there are dual speakers in a top and bottom config, and they are Dirac audio certified, and there's also adaptive surround sound. Now, the speakers here are fairly loud, not as loud as quad speakers obviously, but it's good. As for the quality, it does get a little flat at max volumes, but other than that, it's fairly crisp and nice. Now, what I really liked about the Realme Pad Mini is that Realme hasn't compromised the performance on this tablet. These are the specs, and the Uni-SoC T616 is basically the same chipset as the T610 we also saw in the Nokia T20 tablet, and that means it's almost on par with the MediaTek G80 on the bigger Realme Pad. I mean, here are the benchmarks, and like I said, the Pad Mini scores are very close to the OG Realme Pad, be it in Antutu or Geekbench, which is really good. I also checked for CPU throttling, and the performance was very good, as you can see. The real-world performance of this tablet is pretty good too. The usual apps like Chrome, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube all work without any lag or stutter, and there is some lag when the battery goes low, but other than that, the performance is good. This is also because the software here is very minimal. There's Realme UI for Pad based on Android 11, and it's the same experience as the bigger Realme Pad. I mean, it's not the usual feature-rich Realme UI, it's fairly bare bones, but it was the same with the Realme Pad, so I guess it's okay. Plus, this UI has its advantages. There's no bloatware apps, no ads, no weird lock screen features. It's all clean and nice. Now, there are useful things like the Kids Space from Google and the YouTube Kids app if you plan on buying this tablet for your kid. Apart from that, it's pretty much the phone UI expanded for a tablet. You can put apps into split screen from the recent screen, but there's no dock or gesture. The navigation gestures from Android are here, but like on the Realme Pad, you can't switch between apps by swiping on the bottom. I mean, this should have been fixed, right? What do you think? Plus, there's no promise of updates. I mean, you asked Realme, and they said that they'll be pushing out security updates frequently, which basically means no major Android updates. I mean, I know that this is a budget Android tablet, but at least it deserves Android 12. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. Do you think this should get Android 12 or 12L? So the software remains kind of simple, but moving on to the gaming performance, it's okayish. Asphalt and its default graphics settings was a little inconsistent, laggy at times, but lowering the graphics mostly fixes that. Same with COD, and is the same with BGMI. BGMI supports HD and high settings or smooth and high, and at HD the game was not very smooth, but at smooth graphics the performance is a lot better and much more playable. Coming to the cameras, there's an 8-megapixel camera on the rear and a 5-megapixel camera on the front. Honestly, it's high time companies prioritize the front cameras on tablets because that's going to be used a lot more. Anyway, the front camera only shoots 720p video, and here's a video to give you an idea about the mic and the front camera. This is a video shot from the front 5-megapixel camera of the Realme Pad Mini, and I know the quality looks kind of okayish. Let me know about the mic quality in the comments. The battery is a 6400 mAh one, and there is this 18-watt charger in the box, which is really good for this price range. Now, we did a couple of tests on the battery. We played a YouTube video at 1080p with the screen set to max brightness and volume at 60% for an hour, and the battery drain was 14%, which I think is pretty good. We also played COD Mobile at the max settings this tablet supports for an hour, and the battery drain was 21%. So the battery performance seems fairly good so far on the Realme Pad Mini, and one thing to note, the device does not ever get too hot when it comes to general usage or even gaming. Lastly, talking about the connectivity, the Realme Pad Mini has dual-band Wi-Fi 5, Bluetooth 5.0, GPS at least in this cellular version, but there's no carrier aggregation, which is kind of expected for a budget tablet like this. To conclude things, the Realme Pad Mini has launched in India at Rs 10,999 for the Wi-Fi only variant, and the Wi-Fi plus LTE variant starts at Rs 12,999. Now, if I'm being honest with you, if you are okay with bigger 10-inch tablets and if you have a slightly higher budget, I'd still recommend you the Realme Pad, the bigger one. It's still a better device. But if you want a smaller tablet and your budget is slightly lower, this still is a very good option. I also say this because if you compare the Realme Pad Mini to the Galaxy Tab A7 Lite and the Moto Tab G20, the Realme Pad Mini looks better. The Moto tablet is the lightest, the Realme Pad Mini is the slimmest, but very importantly, the Realme Pad Mini's Uni-SoC T616 is more powerful than the Helio P22T. It also has faster UFS 2.1 storage compared to eMMC storage on the Samsung and the Moto Tab. It also has the better front camera, a bigger battery, and a faster charger in the box. Sure, the software on the Tab A7 Lite will probably be better because it's Samsung, but I will take better performance. So overall, the Realme Pad Mini is good value for money, although I still think Realme should give at least one major Android update for this. Anyway, do you want us to buy these 8-inch tablets and do a proper comparison with the Realme Pad Mini? Let us know in the comments. Also tell us what you think of this new budget tablet from Realme. Comment down below, do it. Also hit like, share this video for people looking for a budget tablet, and do not forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon. Do it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.
Google Pay trick you need to try. If you and your friends are on Google Pay and you need to split bills, all you have to do is go to New Pay.